thing, you know.
Wind up.
But then we go, and then all of a sudden I say, and we're recording.
I still don't understand. Lot of mercy.
Vinnie Pazzo.
I can't follow that up.
Penny Vazzo.
This is episode 30.
I don't like the we are recording.
Neither do I.
Catchphrase.
Neither do I.
I'm not doing them. We're rolling.
No, I know.
Scott will sue me for copyright
You
infringement.
need a whole
Nah, but you need
your
a deal.
own gimmick.
You need a deal, man. We're recording.
Yeah, it's kind of flat.
That's priority.
How about like, and we're cooking, because we're at the Macaroni Mansion.
That's pretty good.
And we're cooking.
I'm not upset with that.
Yeah, I mean, I just dropped the pasta. This is episode 30 of the Broad Street Breakdown.
30! Round number!
I like round numbers.
Yeah, why not? It's nice and even.
Comb in my hair. Did that work?
Wow. Comb in my booth, huh?
Right.
Extra wide sneakers.
Save the genius from me, will you? You worry about the...
Boo in my font.
Not mad at that one at all.
Save the genius
For me.
for me.
Broad Street Breakdown is being brought to you by Crescent Street Tattoo, 4371 Crescent Street, Philly, PA. CrescentStreetTattoo.com. Also, no slam dancing, no stage diving, no spikes, and oral history of the legendary City Gardens by Miss Amy Yates Wolfing and Stevie Puerto Rico.
Oh.
There you go.
You can go to www.dwolf.com. That's DIWULF.com. Facebook is No Slam Dancing. Sicko.
Oh.
Stupid idiot sicko. Wait your turn.
Oh, is he back again?
Sicko, how are you on this lovely Thursday?
I was doing all right, but, you know.
But what? Then we started aiming. We started.
And you started taking shots at me for no
Look,
reason.
I didn't do anything, man.
Fuck, man.
Oh.
It's all right.
Professor?
I'm willing to suffer for
Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to... Did you see that first game with the Eagles?
With the first game with the Eagles.
Carson Wentz going to bring us to the Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
I
boy.
like Johnny Carson.
This guy has watched a total of like 4 football games.
I've probably watched more football.
I definitely
Fucking lit it the fuck up, baby. This is the year.
He's talking about soccer.
Did you watch this?
I watch every Sunday.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Usually at the shop.
I mean, not going to happen now. Or I'm going to watch it on my phone.
Jobber.
How
Or
are you going to do that?
I'll figure out stuff. I could probably do something with the Fios app.
We'll see about that, pal.
We will see. If not, we'll get it running in the shop. Football Sundays at the shop.
Great.
OG, have you heard anything from the doctor about the Darth Vader transformation?
Well, yesterday,
What had happened was...
I hadn't heard anything, so I had to call the doctor.
That's not good.
I said, listen, first of all, it was a deal getting through to anybody. I said, listen, I haven't heard anything from these fucking people that you told me is going to call me to fucking do the deal. They said, oh, okay, well, it's out of our hands at this point. You got to call the place. Called the medical supply place, and did I tell everybody I got diagnosed with this? Did we go over that?
No.
No, I don't know.
Okay, they called me with the results a couple weeks ago and said, you have the sleep apnea. This supply place is going to call you, and they're going to bring you the gimmick. I said, okay.
So you don't need the guy. You can do it legit.
No, but we get into that in a
Let
little
them
bit.
tell the story, will you? Jesus Christ.
So they say it's out of our hands. So you got to call. So I call the medical supply place, and the medical supply place says, "Oh," I said, "You called me last week and said that it was a hassle getting through them too." I said, "You called me last week and said you were going to call me in a day or two. You said 2 days max, and set up an appointment to get me the machine gimmick." And
Right.
I haven't heard from anybody. And they said, "Oh yeah, we're seeing here that insurance hasn't approved it yet. We're waiting for insurance's approval." I said, "Well, what can I do to
Speed the
speed
process
this?
up.
Well, you have to call insurance." So I said, "Okay."
That's a nightmare.
By the way, this is all while I'm driving in the car.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Call insurance, which I had no idea how to do. Kathleen had to tell me how to do that. Call insurance, get insurance on the phone, which was actually the easiest of the process. Imagine that. I would have thought they would have been the biggest hassle, but there was no problem getting through to insurance. Insurance says to me, oh, we approved this 3 days ago. Here's the approval number. Call them back and say, here's the approval number. I said, okay, no problem. Call those motherfuckers back, which is a whole nother process because I can't get through to anybody. Fucking get through. And they're like, I was like, look, I called fucking insurance. I just talked to you a minute ago. I got an approval number here. Oh, okay, hold on. On hold, 14 minutes. Timed it.
Jeez.
Yeah, 14 minutes I was on hold. She gets back on. She's like, okay, well, what's the number? What's the approval number? Give her the approval number. And I'm like, okay, so what's the deal? Oh, okay, well, we'll get back to you within 3 days because now we have to verify the approval number. I was like, I fucking just did your job for you. I got you the fucking number. What are you telling me now? Like, I didn't just make up this random fucking number. I gave you the number, and you know that it's an insurance approval number. Oh, well, we have to fuck about. I said, listen, if I don't fucking hear from you by tomorrow, I'm calling every hour. I'm sorry. I said, nothing. Took the kids this morning. Walked in the house, 9:02, some dude called me, and he's like, listen, we're coming Monday. So supposedly as of Monday, I will have a sleep
CPAP.
helping gimmick. Thank you. Point being, I try and live inside the system. You know what I mean? I try and do the right fucking thing. I could have had this machine from my guy fucking 2 months ago, and I'm trying to do the fucking right thing. And when you try and live like a chump, you get treated like a chump.
Charlie warned us about these things, man. Can't live in their world. It's our world, man.
Yeah. We need to
make gimmicks so we don't have to deal.
I need to go with my gut all the time. 2 months ago, 3 months ago, however fucking long ago, I said I should just fucking call the guy and get the deal.
Phil's boy.
But I had like Kathleen in my head saying like, oh, you should have a record of this because when you come up for insurance again, they'll say you have a pre-existing condition and they'll continue your insurance.
Yeah, she's probably right. But
Oh, she's right.
But
I'm still without a deal.
that's what being right gets you. Death.
Listen,
and dealless.
when you try and live like a chump, you get treated like a chump, and we ain't chumps.
No, we're not.
And then I have to go and I gotta raise my voice a little bit while I'm driving.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Swerving all over the
Xavier's
place.
in the car with me laughing.
Right.
Like, it's not all right.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a good scene. He's
Xavier,
popping.
you got a fucking pen? I gotta write this fucking thing down.
Right.
He thinks that's funny.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it is.
It is to him.
This is to me as well.
It's not funny and it's not fun.
It's neither funny nor fun.
So that's
So that's
what I
that.
fucking did.
Well, they better by next Tuesday's show. They better fucking. You better be wearing the Darth Vader
You better
gimmick.
be all Darth Vadered up.
Will you do the show in the Darth Vader mask?
That's the question.
I don't know until I have it. I don't know how much of a deal it is.
The
It's a
bigger,
deal.
The bigger of a deal
They're
it is.
sending out a motherfucker to show me how to fucking use this thing.
A tutorial?
Yeah. So
that's
I
heavy.
imagine it's a bit of a deal.
Yeah, I think the dude comes and lays in bed with you while you fall asleep with it on.
If you give him an extra 10
What do
bucks,
you
he'll
sit
spoon
back,
you.
Pablo?
Yeah,
Now?
Now that we can hold these Johns, we
You
don't
should
gotta
see
listen to
this
Scott.
kid. He's gimmicking it up like he's like the Freddie Mercury gimmick.
I'm
Remember
not,
when Freddie had
I'm
a
not
little?
mad at this. This is all right.
This is now this.
Is it?
Try it out.
Well, I
Here's-
says to this guy, I says, I don't know if I like
Here's
it.
the
I
real
don't like
shit.
it.
Here's the shit. Where you're like, you know what, Pat? Shut the fuck up. You do that shit sideways, motherfucker gets shook.
You fucking turn that thing sideways. I'll
See,
turn
look,
it
he got
sideways
hype when I- he
and
got
go
hype when I
upside
turned it
that
sideways.
Fucking peanut head of yours.
See, he got all worked up when I turned it sideways.
fucking moon
That
boot,
shit does.
shoebox, feet wearing motherfucker. fucking Jimmy wearing feet fuck.
Jimmy's getting upset.
So yeah, I talked to Gavin recently about, I forget what music I was sending you or who we were talking about. Maybe we were talking about Poison Clan. I was like, "Do you remember Poison Clan?" And then I sent you the joint. You were like, "Oh, I'm with this."
Mm-hmm.
And then I started talking to you about how I sold a lot of my record collection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the vinyl.
Yeah, I remember the text you decided on the spot. I'm rebuying everything ever
that I sold. Yeah.
right.
Basically, what I did was the only thing I didn't sell of years and years and years of collecting, going back to being a kid when my nan would take me to 69th Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It's a lot of years, man. So even if you're somebody who didn't sell a lot of that stuff, or you lent stuff out, you fucking lost stuff.
That's a very good point.
And you
man.
just like over the course of fucking 30 years, you just don't have shit that you had at one point.
Bro, I found a crate that I thought I had sold those records, and when I found my Operation Ivy first press, the vinyl wasn't in there. It was just the.
That's what I mean. Like,
so I was like, "Yo, man, what the fuck?"
I left this at Jimmy Chong's house.
Yeah.
And fucking whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. Right, it's fucked.
Yeah. So what I did, I basically went through everything and assessed. All right, how much did I sell? What do I have? What do I have that I'm like, yo, I love this record. I need this. This is kind of beat up. Let me see if someone reissued it. You know what I mean? So I can have another copy.
Right.
So I've spent the past however many months rebuilding the collection I sold at least half of because I was a moron and I wanted Polo and Jordans when I was in high school. And
See, back then too, stuff was it seemed so accessible.
Yeah,
and
like
we had no way of knowing where things were going to go.
Yeah.
So it was like, fuck, man, I can get $10 for this.
Yeah.
And I paid $2.
Exactly.
Like, give me $10 and I'll go buy it again next week.
I was basically like, this is a temporary thing. I'm gonna come up on all these records again next year. You know what I'm saying?
We're right at that age where we saw the transformation from records to
CDs,
cassettes to this to that to the other thing.
Absolutely.
And it happened. I mean, in the big picture, it happened very quickly.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, shit you sold or got rid of 5 years before, you ain't fucking finding anymore, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah,
here?
man.
Everything got all fucked up.
There's joints in this process where things are out of press. And you're tracking records down across the world, whether it's on Discogs.com from like independent sellers, and there's records I paid $100 for. You know what I mean? That weren't new.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking, some of that fucking real wacky metal stuff that you like may have been able to be bought anywhere back then.
Yes.
And now you got to go to fucking some hut and fucking whatever. You're buying it from some guy in a rainforest somewhere.
Bro, that's
It's
basically what's like. There's packages that are coming that looks like the writing and wherever mail they sent it from is like hieroglyph.
Yeah.
The
It's
wrapped
like
in banana leaves.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like my name and the symbol for boron on some of the fucking boxes, and like you said, some of it is so rare now, and however many they pressed then. You know what I mean? Some record report. Do y'all remember Cancer, the band? Mm-mm. They recorded at Mara Sound, where everyone did Obituary and Death and all that. Their stuff is incredible, but those records are so rare now that I'm paying crazy money for it. But I mean, part of what I wanted to talk about was there's something heavier there for me. I like the sound of vinyl. I think in 2016, some people think it sounds hipster and pretentious to say vinyl sounds better, but we've had discussions before. Sicko, I remember listening to 7 Inches at your crib. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you had G.G. Allen 7 Inches, some people really do believe vinyl sounds better. I'm one of them. I think it sounds warmer. I don't like I don't like over processed, overproduced. Not that production can be affected by the vinyl, but what I mean more is a lot of shit that sounds over compressed. The vocals sound compressed, things like that. I was listening to the Let's Start a War, the Exploited. It's a reissue on red vinyl. I was listening to it. I'm like, this record sounds good as fuck on vinyl. But the bigger picture for me and everyone here at one point in our friendship collected music heavy. So we used to go on record. Well, Gavin worked in a record store, and me, you, and Sicko would go on missions weekly. When we first met, you had all tapes, and then CD technology came into play. I don't ever really remember you having vinyl.
It was very rare.
Okay, so you had mad cassettes. I think you were copping them from Chili Willy, right? Like
Most of mine were from Chili Willy.
Bootleg hip hop cassettes.
Like 10th and between Chestnut and Market.
Yeah.
Chili Willy had the bootleg stand set up.
And then when you got a gig and had bread, you were like pretty relentless with the CD collection, right?
Yeah, once I finally was like, all right, cassette tapes are dead.
Yeah.
It was CD all day, mostly Repro records.
Yeah.
And then, we acquired CDs from other places.
But what do you think it was that led you don't collect music anymore, right?
No. I want no pieces of material in my house anymore.
So what does that mean? It's a space thing? It's a neat thing?
Yeah, like if I just had a server in my basement with every song ever, I'd be cool with that.
Where in Sicko, you're the same way?
Kind of, yeah. Like, I mean, when I was younger and had what you would call disposable income, because you live at home, what the fucking bills do you have to pay?
Yeah.
You get your little part-time job.
Yeah. It's all found money.
Yeah. I mean, all I would ever do is buy records. I had a shit ton of records. I had a fantastic...
You had a good collection.
Yeah, I had an amazing Misfits collection. Original Misfits shit.
Part of the stuff I sold.
I sold
Cough,
it all.
Cool, everything.
Sold it all.
Yeah, me too.
And I didn't have a lot of trouble with my conscience selling it then because I was selling it for a very definite reason. But
Sicko, what would that reason be?
drugs. I sort of started feeling bad about it, but as I got older, I sort of came to this, and I think this was the birth of internet culture when you start to see how prevalent, like with hardcore, it was like, yeah, me and like 6 of my friends know about it. Nobody else in the world knows about it.
Yeah.
And then there's Facebook, and you find out like every person is into everything, and you can't tell, oh, well, they have that knowledge because they came up in the scene from like 1982,
or they learned
or
it.
they got on the internet and just started reading stuff, whatever. It came over me that like it just wasn't that important to have the actual stuff. Like I could still love the music, whether I hear it, an MP3 of a favorite song from 20 years ago. It became much less important to me to have the actual physical copy of it. It's not even a convenience thing. It's just I don't give a shit. It just wasn't as important to me anymore. The music's important, don't get me wrong on that.
Yeah.
But the actual like if I had a windfall of like $10 million tomorrow, like records would be the last thing on my mind to buy. I just don't care about the actual physical medium that they come on.
This is a number that's pretty fucking crazy. It must be a generation that we're not in tune with, but vinyl sales are up 32%, the highest it's been since 1988, and $416 million in 2015. CDs are down 10%.
I mean, do they even make CDs anymore? I'm asking that legit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, say Beyonce comes out, I don't know if she does.
Right.
I know, but it's like everything that we've ever been involved with musically has been counterculture. It's niche market. So
Sure.
if I tell you that some new hip hop shit or some new punk rock shit, hardcore shit is on CD, I don't know that that's speaking for
Right.
pop culture.
That
you know
makes
what I mean?
sense, but that's a whole different
I don't know.
lane.
I don't know if you can get the new Beyonce on CD. You know what I mean?
Like
But,
if Jay-Z drops an album, like
yeah, I
whatever.
think so. But
I think all those super pop artists do because Walmart and Target still has like an aisle.
oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, new release stuff.
yeah, I mean, for me, like I bought Jay's newest record on vinyl, but that goes back to saying how much of this stuff is like hipster culture.
Yeah.
And the fact that they sell vinyl at Urban Outfitters, and I guess, and then the other side of the coin is me whenever I drop a new project, I get inundated with y'all are doing vinyl, right? So, but you have to understand, I'm looking at this number. It's up 32%, $416 million, a ton of money. It's almost $500 million, but how much money of this 416 million was used to make the vinyl?
Right. Like, what does it cost to press vinyl?
That's, I mean, first off, the more of a collector you are, the more ill you want the layout to be. You want double vinyl, so to double your money there. You want gatefold, double your money there, and then you want colored vinyl. You know, swirls, things like that. It's
Inserts.
all of that. So you might pay $8, $9, $10. And then you have to retail it at what, $25, $30 to even come up at all.
Yeah.
So the numbers, numbers are bottom line. So we can't really argue with this, that it's up 32%, and we can't argue with the fact that it made 416 million. But we can, the caveat is, how much did it cost? Whereas when you're getting, now it sounds crazy that I would be a proponent of digital, being a record collector myself, because what you and Pablo said, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm getting the feeling when I'm getting records now in 2016 that I did when I was 11. Opening the box, when I see the boxes there, I'm excited as shit. I still love the smell of opening it. I still love putting it on the turntable. I'm getting all my 7 inches back. I'm taking pictures at 3 a.m. of them, sending them to Gavin. You remember this? Do you remember this? That's little kid shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I don't know about them. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But it's even created conversations with one of my closest friends by being like, oh, I just got this. Even that is healthy. Oh, fuck, I haven't listened to that in 20 years. You know what I mean? It's, as Gavin said when we first started talking about, well, what if it's some fucking goofy record that you can't track down? You know what I mean? That can easily apply to a punk record or something, because I'm doing it with the hardcore records. You guys remember like Smorgasbord records and stuff. There's 7 inches, you know what I mean? Early Victory. I mean, obviously they're huge now in both like metalcore, and they have gold albums. But those early Victory, those real hard 7 inches, like by Billingsgate and shit, that shit's like so fucking far out of press, out of everything.
Yeah.
The first press of the breakdown 7 inch that I put over last episode. Who knows what that's going for? You know, I talked to Jason Carter from Sheer Terror, and but OG, I didn't ask you much about it, because I said I remember listening to a specific Gigi Allen 7 inch at your crib. I remember the year. I remember everything. You and Pablo ended up at Denny's that night. But was that just, were you like, this is what I want and this is the form it's on, so that's why I'm buying it? And then how did working in record stores, you spent your life working at or running record stores or running tattoo shops? That's been your life since you were what, 15 when you got the first gig?
Yeah. Yeah, it was before I could drive. So
You're going 25 years only being around music and tattoos. That's been your existence, because you've been in bands, you've played shows, you've put out music. So your whole existence outside of your children,
yeah,
has been music or tattoos.
Right.
Like, I guess what I'm saying is when you were 15 and vinyl was the format,
Right.
did you get it because that was the format, or you cared? You like 12 by 12, AO. It's, there's something to me about holding
Yeah.
the exploited thing. And I know you've put it over now, and I know you're saying you don't care, so I'm not shooting on you, because at one time you did. You're
No,
just like,
yeah.
you're just kind of like, I'm past it for whatever reason. And you do love music, and it is your life's blood.
Yeah.
So
I know exactly.
I normally
what
would torture you, but you love music as much as anyone I know.
and I know those feelings, exactly the feelings that you're talking about, and I have felt them, and it was a big part of my life. It just
Maybe the 2-year anniversary of the podcast, I'll be telling y'all how it came and went.
Right.
Like, look, Pablo's knocking out, man. Look at that.
Yeah, he's tapping.
I think that there's that feeling because that's what we grew up on.
Yeah.
Whereas if somebody who was born later and they came up and they only had access to CD stuff, or for example, they wouldn't understand that sort of thing. I think it's because of the age we are. I started buying records at a very, very young age. My mother definitely encouraged that very early on. That's all I knew. It wasn't even a such thing as collecting, really. It
was.
Right.
Yeah.
You bought a
That's how it
record.
was for me. And then it wasn't until I was, the more we got into subculture and counterculture that I understand, oh, this is a thing. Like, this is rare, or this isn't. I mean,
Yeah, previous to that, you would just go buy the new.
sure, and
Kiss
with
record or
right,
whatever it was.
What Kiss was in, we were using with How Much Your Mom Loved the Beatles. It wasn't a rare record to get Abbey Road.
Right.
It's not until you're like, oh, this label only pressed 1,000 of these.
Yeah.
And that was a really fun part of it
Yeah.
too, like that
Yeah.
searching and when
Or
you
when
find
you were
it.
like, you thought the band only had 2 albums, and you're like, what's this album? Oh, it's a French import?
Bro, your
What the
fucking
hell's going on?
mind would explode, bro,
Yeah.
because you didn't get a tweet that there's some
Right,
rare, you know.
right.
And I never want us to sound like those dudes, like, well, no, it's social media, because we use social media for this podcast,
Absolutely.
and it can be incredible. And with podcasts and with Netflix, shit is awesome. You know what I mean? But
But it was also awesome.
to find a record you didn't even know
Right.
existed.
It's just it's apples and oranges.
There was something to looking on the back of records
Yep.
and, oh, I love this label. So these guys put out Black Flag, SST. All right, I'll buy this. Or,
There was something to, like, I was really big on the inserts, AO. There was something to
you love inserts.
pulling it out, AO, and like the one side being lyrics. Like if you put lyrics,
Yeah, your mind
in a
was blown.
thing, like that was the best fucking thing you could do.
Yeah, and the other side, a poster.
Other side, like a collage of pictures,
Yeah.
and then the fucking thank you list,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, here's a band I need to check out. Here's
Yeah.
a band I never heard of. Dead Kennedys. What could this be? I wonder why my favorite metal band is thanking something called Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
I'll make a mental note. To have to-
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And
I mean, I still do that. It's just not always from records. But if I see someone big someone up, well, it's just a different way of that. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think I told Gavin, like when I first got hip to the band Ghost, it was because Hetfield had a shirt on. You know what I mean? Not that I'm a 2016 mark for James Hetfield, but I was like, I wonder what that shit, because it looked like some creepy shit. So I'm like, oh, it's probably like some weird Scandinavian death metal. And I peeped it, and it wasn't that, but I ended up digging it. But it's still the same. It's still the same thing. But I guess, well, Gavin, when you were saying they didn't go through it the same thing, but if I didn't buy vinyl or something didn't come out on vinyl, because remember that started happening, you know what I mean, as it started fading. If I got a cassette or a CD, I was still excited about opening that too. It was still the physical act.
I never got excited.
Yeah, I
about
would be-
CDs or cassettes. I never owned cassettes other than blanks.
To tape the
To
vinyl.
tape stuff to listen to in the car.
Yeah, I started,
I hated CDs.
I guess I did what everyone does when you're just like, there was definitely a shift before you could burn everything to disc, but and the only option was to burn to tape, to go from vinyl to tape. So then I started going, well, why don't I just buy the tape? You know what I'm saying? And then later you could buy a disc burner and go from vinyl to disc. And then I did that for a few years, and then I just tapped out at one point.
I hated CDs when they came out. It had nothing to do with how they sounded. Like, it was just like to me, the vinyl is the official release.
Yeah.
A CD or a cassette is just like a knockoff of it. Like, you didn't own the music unless you had the vinyl. 'Cause that's the format that I started out on. It for the entire existence of the music industry, that was the format.
I think that's how now, at my age now, I'm looking at it again. I'm going through 65,000 songs, 68,000 songs on my computer, running through everything and going, do I have this on vinyl? Or is this just something I attained digitally? You know what I mean? Even if I paid for it. Because I buy music.
To me, the vinyl, the record, the album was the hardback book.
Yeah.
And your CDs were like the knockoff paperback.
Yeah,
version.
yeah, that's
they were disposable to me, which is what I did not like about them. I didn't like a little booklet. Like, I want the whole fucking layout. I want the gatefold.
Yeah.
You remember that second Possessed full length?
Yes.
Was it Beyond the Gates or At the Gates or something, whatever. But it like opened out like 17 different fucking, like, I wanted that.
Yeah, of course.
And then sound quality was definitely a thing. Like, I hated the sounds of CDs the first time I heard. The first CD I ever bought was South of Heaven.
Really?
And it sounded like a completely different record to me than because I had already had it on vinyl.
Yeah.
But I got my first CD player, and that's what was out at the time.
I think the sound quality of vinyl also is completely relative to the shit we listen to.
Yes.
Hip hop sounds better on vinyl. Punk rock sounds better. I don't know if someone was like, this Beyonce album sounds like shit on vinyl, I'd believe them. You know, I don't know that it lends itself. There's sonically something that has to be going on to lend itself to vinyl, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I think so too. I think I agree with that.
I'm not sure how much it would matter, you know, to it being warmer or anything. Like, you listen to Stevie Wonder, you listen to Talking Book or Music on My Mind on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 times warmer. All the bass and drums are way warmer on.
And on the reverse, like, you take something like that landmark DRI 7-inch that's like 22 songs.
Yeah.
Literally on a 7.
Yeah.
Like, I could never imagine listening to that like fully produced,
Right.
in digital formats. Like,
Right.
No, it needs to be on that crackly little shitty no bottom end 7-inch.
Well, that's the thing. Like, where my brother and I, we would argue. Like, when I would play him shit a million years ago, like the Misfits and stuff, he would shit on the production. In my head, I'm like, what do you want Rick Rubin to do this?
Right.
None of those records that we loved, or even today, some of these new bands we put over, would that sound good being recorded with dudes, you know what I mean?
With
and
like a $200,000 budget.
Yeah, I think, you know, like Violent Reaction, would that sound good or like polished? It wouldn't to me. You
Not
know,
at all.
I like it how it is. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to remember too, we're the type of like, we come at music and listen to music in different ways, I think, than your average person, and for different reasons. We've all been brought up on the fact that like the Bad Brains Roar cassette, like, there is no shittier sounding piece of music out there.
It's a horror scene.
And it's like the greatest piece of music ever made.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't even, especially at that age, it wouldn't even enter into your mind that this sounds like garbage. 'Cause
Right.
what you're listening to is an energy, not a sound.
Absolutely. Well, I think the thing is where we were speaking a couple episodes ago about Squares ruining everything, they're also ruining my quest to retain all of my albums, because there's records that realistically, I'm not saying what are they worth to us, because a record you love, you can't put a price on it. But there's records the kids are selling. I'm like, all right, man, this is like a beat up used 7-inch. This thing's worth $10. Like, now I gotta pay $50 for this thing because Squares are trying to. You can look at the number up 32%, 416 million. You're not getting the 416 million with counterculture people, man.
Right.
That means it is cracking mainstream.
I mean, that probably even goes all the way up to baby boomers who are buying reissues of stuff they grew up on, 'cause that's the format they know.
Yeah, I think older people are doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
They're just an older generation.
Replenishing it.
Yeah. Or I should have never got rid of my vinyl. You know what I mean? I'm saying that, but I'm still relatively young. Those people probably lost their original copies of Beatles records 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Or more. They could have had them in the late 70s, and that's the last time they saw them. So they go, oh, they remastered, remixed all this stuff. You know what I mean? Added bonus shit. All right, word. Yeah, well, that's that number struck me, man. I just but
You also deal with it from a flip side, from a business standpoint of you putting out vinyl.
yeah,
I gotta imagine that's not the best.
from a business perspective,
decision to make.
it's stupid to be doing it. That's the reality of the situation. To everybody who owns my vinyl or buys it, I love you and it's great, but do trust that I do it because of how I came up, not because it's a smart business decision. Because
And I'll say from my end, a lot of those kids that are buying it. I mean, we all know you have a very far-reaching international audience. And I do a lot of stuff for Enemy Soil. I see a lot of this stuff come in where, these kids will order a $25 vinyl version of your record, and then they'll be writing us like, I live in the UK, like, why is it costing me $140 for this $25 record? And that's not even shit that has to do with the music
No,
industry.
it's not, man. It's like, and all I can do is will kind of be apologetic, but it's not my fault. And then understand, just tell them I feel their pain because I'm going through the same thing when I want a black metal album from Poland. You know what I mean? The album's €18 and I'm paying $46 to get it over here. You know what I mean?
Especially if it's some kind, like you were saying, like colored vinyl, double.
Of
gatefold,
course, man. Or a first pressing,
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm buying some shit back that I didn't have that was new, but then I'm looking for OG pressings of shit too because I want that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's become a collector's market. It's it's not, again, it's not the dominant format, so they're not beholden to anyone, whether it's you making the records or the people that are selling you the records you're buying personally. It's almost like Thunderdome. Like, they can do whatever they want because they know no one else is doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're either going to get it here or you're going to not have it.
I mean, I've paid ridiculous prices for some of the shit, and I had the choice to not to. But I'm like, do I want this? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone hits that point in their life with something. It might not be records, but whatever it is, I wanted these sneakers. Oh, they're this much? Fuck it, I'm buying it. Yeah, I don't care.
Like, in 1980, I remember 1986 buying... I think it was a second pressing of the Misfits Bullet. I paid $120 for it, which was astronomical then.
Of course.
For was basically a $3 record, but I understand that because it's a very rare record.
Absolutely.
It's
That's kind of what it's like. Everything is worth what it's worth to you.
right. But with that, there were no other options. It wasn't like, well, I really just love the song, so let me just download the MP3 from this site. It was like, either I put the money on this record or I'll never hear it. It was never about, like I've talked to you about this privately. Like, I've never considered myself a collector, and I don't really get into that whole collecting world. Like, everything that when I sold my Misfits collection, like it went through like 3 different outlets. I went to like one store, one or two private people, but like the dudes at the store would go through it and they'd be like, man, this is really rare, but it's in such shitty condition. Like, you could get $500 for it, but I'm only giving you 100 because I didn't fucking tack it up on a wall and seal it in plastic. That shit got played.
Of course.
You have people nowadays that buy records that never even see a fucking turntable or a
Absolutely.
needle.
Absolutely.
And I think that factors into the business aspect
Yeah,
of it,
definitely.
what they're charging for it.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna get into some biz. We weren't too happy about what the PWI. What was it?
22-11 we did.
11.
Now we're into the
Now we're getting into the shit.
the
man.
nitty gritty.
We're in the shit. So they better pick up, or we're
Down to the nitty
I'm
gritty.
ready. I'm ready.
I'm covering.
I'm trying
this up so
not
you
to.
don't look.
I'm trying not to have let my personal taste factor in too much. More like the year they had, the effect on the business, that sort of thing.
You're trying to be objective.
Yeah, like I'm going to be okay with someone in certain positions even if I don't particularly like them or they're not something that I personally enjoy.
It's like when you do the list of like top punk rock records, and it's like, okay, I hate that record, but I understand it needs to be on this list. kind of deal.
Exactly. And we're only talking the last year.
Correct.
Okay.
Number 10.
Okay.
John Cena.
I'm fine with
I'm
that.
okay with that. I
I'm
was
probably,
gonna
it's
say-
probably around where he
Yeah, I
was.
was gonna for a second. I was gonna say it should be higher, but he was hurt a lot of the year.
Also, you just talked about not letting personal taste get in the way.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm agreeing
I-
with
well,
you
I
on
almost-
every.
I almost said he should be higher, but then I thought about it, and he was out for
Yeah.
months this year.
Yeah.
So 10
I
is
mean,
about right. I'd
when
say.
we both know that he's settling or going to settle into someone who performs less and less. He's already not doing house shows.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he
I'm
worked.
okay.
He went 10 years.
I'm okay
wrestling.
with.
Yeah,
okay
I'm
with
fine
10.
with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a good sign.
Number 9, Dean Ambrose.
I'm gonna shock you, and I'm gonna say I'm okay with that too. That motherfucker's been involved in everything for the past year. So if we're not talking personal taste and personal whatever, and just what they've done in and for the business in the last year, he needs to be in the top 10 for sure, and I don't want him any higher than that. So
I mean, what about the promos of the shits? Corny.
yeah, but
He's got the 5 moves of doom. He's sloppy.
He's one of the only guys who is really definition over, in quotes, what you would call over. He's one of the only motherfuckers who's really over, and who's probably making them some money, because a lot of the dudes who we like and think are cool, they ain't making the bread for them. And they ain't got the TV exposure, and they haven't been involved in pretty much every major angle over the last year Ambrose has been involved in.
I hate this.
I agree.
Number 8, Seth Rollins. Could be higher.
He was out for so long.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
He was number 1 in 2015.
I'm okay with 8 because he was out for as long as he was out.
All right.
If he ain't there, what?
I said could be higher and just realized how long he was out with
he
that
was,
injury.
I mean,
9 months, maybe.
a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with 8.
All right. I think we may both have a little bit of issue where he falls, but these next 7 better be fucking good, and they better be right.
Yeah.
Number
I like
7,
the top 10 better than the
This is
11 through 20.
We're 3 in, and I'm already way happier than
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
What number is this?
7. I got him a few higher up.
It depends who is coming after.
All right, that's fair.
So
just
make a mental note.
Still should be in the top 10 though.
Absolutely.
I could be top 5. depending on
It
what
depends
happens.
where we go from here.
Oh, I just glimpsed at something and popped.
Heavy.
Hey, yo. Number 6, Mr. Kevin Steen, a.k.a. Kevin Owens. Could be top 5?
Should be.
Agreed.
Too low.
This I'm pleasantly surprised with.
Okay.
Number 5,
Yes.
our pal, Jay Lethal.
If you switch Owens and Lethal so far, I'm okay.
How dare you?
Lethal should not be over Owens. No fucking
How
way.
dare you.
No fucking
Held the belt for
way.
400 and something days.
That's awesome. And he should be right below Kevin.
Number 4, AJ Styles.
I want to
Flip.
flip those last 3. I want Owens higher,
You want Owens at 4.
AJ at 5, Lethal at 6.
Woo. Number 3.
Kevin Owens is the same scenario as I said about Ambrose. He's been involved in every major thing in the last year,
Yeah.
and a super important part of the show and the business in general. The difference between him and Ambrose is he can fucking work his ass off.
Yeah.
You look at that shit show from whenever with him and Roman.
Yeah.
He made Roman look like fucking aces,
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely.
Who's doing that?
Nah, that's true. Number 3,
Yeah.
Finn Balor. Could be number 1.
Again, we can't go into
Oh, Monster
Worker.
Pop. I just turned the page.
worker or work rate. It's all got to be factored in, and their importance in the last year. Finn's been really important, but I feel like again Owen should be higher than that, or higher than Finn.
I don't have a problem with that argument. I didn't like you switching up on my man Jay,
I love Jay.
but your argument for Steen being higher than Finn is very sound.
So the last bunch, Steen should be higher than all the last bunch.
Okay.
The order of the bunch at that point, I'm okay with any order.
Yeah.
But Steen should be higher than all those dudes, the last couple dudes.
This one popped me
I'm ready.
in a good way.
I'm
Hey,
ready.
yo. Rainmaker, Okada, number 2. That motherfucker can go. He's money over there. He didn't jump ship. He's there. He's their guy. What everything you said about Dean is basically Okada for New Japan.
I agree with you. Should not be number 2.
Top 5?
I'm
Is that a yes?
I'm okay with top 5. Should not be number 2. Again, my argument's going to be Steen should be over him. I'm not saying that Kevin should be number 2 necessarily, but I'm saying Kevin should be higher than Okada.
I guess maybe we would look at it differently or see it differently if we had our finger more on the pulse of the Japanese scene than we do right now, as opposed to how we did before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but big picture, bottom line, no matter what us and all the fucking smart marks in the world want to think, the business revolves around Vince, period.
Yeah, that's fair.
While I agree with every word you said about Okada, more so even if you put him over for another 5 minutes, I would still agree with you.
Yeah.
He's just not as important as some of Vince's guys in the big picture of the business.
Fair enough.
When Vince goes over to Japan and sells out a huge arena in their country,
in
it's
their
saying
territory.
something. When New Japan comes over here,
Yeah.
they're selling out the ECW arena.
Right.
It's not a knock.
Yeah.
It just is fact.
It is. We've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That leads us to number one. This came to my door and I almost took a stroke. I immediately took a picture and sent it to you.
This is the only number that we knew ahead of time.
Correct. Number one on Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 500 wrestlers of 2016 is none other than Roman Reigns.
I'm going to chuck out an angle.
Dummy, yeah.
I'm going to throw out a little angle to you here.
Please, talk me off the ledge.
Name a worker
I hate this new angle you're working.
in any
I
company,
hate this angle you're
any
working.
company in the world who has been talked about or debated more than Roman in the past year.
If 70% of that talk is this guy's the shits,
Doesn't matter.
I think it does.
It's talk.
If you're
It's talk that everyone is talking about.
is he money? Is he a draw?
Yes.
So you think people are paying to boo him?
Yes.
Pablo, Roman Reigns.
Is that our boy?
Is it?
I do. I love him.
What's he on about?
He doesn't know who Roman is.
Sicko. Why are we with these two?
I'm not sure.
Can we discuss that next episode with them here?
That's the first segment.
First segment is why
First
are the two
hour.
of us friends with the two of them?
Yeah, fair enough.
First hour?
I'm down.
You know, we
Sicko,
don't,
write that down.
we don't all have to like the same thing just to be friends. We can have different interests and levels of interest.
Anyone who isn't interested by the sport of kings is no friend of mine.
You have to be interested in fire and clouds.
Brimstone.
You're right. That's what I was looking for.
Poems.
Sensitivity.
Roman Reigns, is he the subject of an Edgar Allan Poe yarn?
Was it he in the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I like that tattoo he has.
I like tattoo. Like Titanic. Did you ever see the David Spade take the hit, stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm watching Titanic. Yeah, that's how I say it.
He has a nice tattoo.
Anybody see the Rob Lowe roast?
No.
I heard part of it.
Look, man.
Yeah, I heard. I need
Look,
to check that out.
in the days of DVRs,
Yeah.
I think we have to start prefacing things like that, OG. Like when I'm telling you, not on air, but when I'm texting you about TNA, I'm only saying watch it, knowing you can go through
right.
40 minutes if need be,
Right.
and then add the commercials, and I'm like, yo, basically do me a favor, watch 25 minutes of this,
Yeah.
so we can talk about it. But
Yeah.
there's people that got up that Ann Coulter cunt, but her being there, everyone on stage said more heinous things to her
I read about it.
than
yeah.
I've ever seen at any roast, and it was very rewarding spiritually to see this, because there's those people you go, look, man, I ain't into politics, it ain't my bag, what you think is what you think, and then there's just
Vile
a
cunts.
vile cunt, racist, obviously racist, it's not hidden, just flat out racist tweets,
Race baiting.
every bad thing you can be, and she was ethered
Yeah.
on there. Spade hosted it and fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Everyone kept saying, everyone kept calling Peyton Manning someone's mongoloid cousin. He just got fucking buried. So
Yeah, I was actually planning on watching it this week.
definitely watch it. I told my mom to watch it, and she thought it was fucking hilarious. And like I said, in this era with DVRs, you're like, oh, this person's not as funny. Zip, zip, zip. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, yeah. So, I don't know. I like your argument. To say number one, man, is just too jagged of a pill for me to swallow.
If Roman is not being talked about in the past year, that eliminates 50% of conversation. Not between us, just of the business in general. Everybody was always on and still is.
Fuck it, you and I talk about him a lot.
Yep.
You and I,
He
has improved vastly. By the way,
the bottom line with conversation, good, bad, whatever, is that it's conversation, and that means on some level that motherfucker's over.
he's drawing too.
Yep.
You're selling me.
That's the kind of list this is too.
Yeah, no,
we're not talking like
work rate.
No,
yeah,
no.
No, I mean, because you can go if we're going work rate, I might be like Okada's the best to me.
Yeah, and
You
I
know
might
what I
say
mean?
Finn. And
Right.
we're talking
And then
totally
we
different
talk
dudes.
about watching them on a huge stage would be our
Right.
favorite match.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Way different fucking list. Although Kevin's still up there.
Kevin's
regardless.
there's like of that top 10, half are probably still in my
Seth.
top 10. Yeah.
Kevin.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. Finn.
AJ.
AJ.
It's just work. We're just
Yeah,
gonna work rate.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't
but,
think Roman's not in my probably not in my top 25 if we're just talking work. You know what I mean? But he's gotten better.
Roman?
Yeah, but he's gotten better.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm just he's just a constant source of conversation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
None of those other dudes, other than Lesnar, maybe,
Yeah.
who they had at fucking 19 or something.
Yeah.
It is a constant source of conversation.
Yeah.
You can't listen to any wrestling-based podcast or read any news dirt sheet thing or whatever without a
it's
mention of
basically
Roman or
The last 12 months have been Roman and Brock dominated.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
Different
Which
conversations, but
which makes it strange that Brock's so low. It has to be that he's part-time. And they're kayfabing. You know?
I mean, like I'm reevaluating this whole list, and really, Roman and Brock should be 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're talking Impact,
Who the fuck else is even close?
Yeah. Well, like the Sicko said, we'll debate putting our own top 10 list together
maybe we should
for
do
next show.
Okay.
We'll throw gimmicks at each other.
Jimmy the Chin.
Yeah,
Number
Jimmy
10.
the Chin's to working at 10.
Do a top 20
Listen, Sicko, we deal with the biz. You don't
and make sure you
just
don't collaborate in between.
No, we only collaborate.
No.
That's how we dominate the world,
You
pal.
got to see how your lists match up.
The
Sicko's
Sicko,
got rules.
since you and Blow haven't said
No.
anything in about a half hour, Pablo's half dead. I think it's the shoes.
Yo, money, it's got to be the shoes.
He's so comfortable. The shoes. It's got to be the shoes.
Got to be the shoes.
Is it how comfortable they are that you're nodding out?
No, it's not. It's not that. It's 5 a.m.
Yo, it's kayfabe, man. It's 8 at night. So I'm gonna throw it to Sicko. He's gonna do what he do.
All right. I think this time we'll switch it up. We'll start with Vinnie P.
He's
Dummy, yeah.
he's not.
Dummy, yeah.
Okay.
Vinny, what comes to mind when I say Slick Rick?
Greatest storyteller of all time.
Jeffrey?
Lottie Dottie. We like to potty.
Rick
Potty?
the ruler.
What? Wow.
Where did
Yo,
that come
Pablo
from?
just pulled a bucket hat out and put it on.
Super Bowl 50.
somehow, since we've last seen him, he now likes football.
I guess so.
So strange.
Vinny, Aaron Aronofsky.
Darren Aronofsky.
That's what I meant to say.
Brilliant filmmaker, and was going to let us record at his little spot when we were doing Visions of Gandhi in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and plans changed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he hit on my ex-girlfriend too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jeffrey?
I don't know Aaron or Darren.
Siggo, write that down. I don't know Aaron or Darren.
Yeah.
Love pie. Love Requiem for a Dream.
Did you just say you love pie?
Wreck him for a dream.
I saw that.
He loves pie and wreck him for a dream.
I saw that
Jesus,
movie.
man.
Requiem
I
for a
love
Dream.
pie. P-I-E. I love pie. And
Wrecked
wreck
him. Damn near killed him.
Pie was the first date me and my wife ever went on.
That's a serious fucking
Right,
biz, man.
right? Yeah. She knew she was in for a good
Yeah, she
time.
knew she was in for a treat.
Vinny, Roberto Duran.
Top 5, dead or alive.
Jeffrey, any thoughts?
Vinny thinks he's top 5 dead or alive.
I like that gimmick.
Pablo.
Haven't watched boxing in a long time.
Vinny, the Gallagher brothers. Nolan.
I'm a fucking mark. I fucking love them. I love that band, and none of it makes sense to how I live my life.
I mean, Jeffrey. None of it makes sense to how I.
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking
Why?
because I want to see if Pablo says it.
I'm definitely saying it.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I know a story about them beating some guy with an ashtray in a bar in Philly.
Nice. Anyone we know?
No.
The one brother actually has to pay the other brother to use his name.
Yes. It's just heavy. I've always been a fan of the
Sledge-o-matic for life.
nice. The brother duos in a band, because there's always like mad tension.
The Davies.
The Davies, the
Yeah.
Gallagher, like it's always, yeah, it's good stuff. Vinny, Nile Rodgers.
Chic.
I was gonna say that. I got nothing else.
Pablo, did you have time to Google him?
I did. He looks like a nice. I can't say it. He looks like a musician.
I think I know what he was going to
Yo, I know what he was going to say.
say. It was not
It's getting late.
That's the funniest thing he said.
All right.
night. Vinny, Uriah Heep.
I'm a mark because of King Diamond.
Jeffrey.
Vinny told me King Diamond only played Uriah Heep before he came on.
Every time I've seen him.
Yeah.
Pablo.
I prefer Uriah Carey.
He was.
Pop
I
me.
looked over while we were doing the list, and he was knotted out. I watched him. I was just looking at him, and he came back strong.
See, he was gathering his strength.
He was for the last championship rounds.
Vinny, Cocksparer.
Ooh.
Personally, my favorite of street punk oi bands, personally, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? Gavin hipped me to them when I was a youngin'. So I think of him when I think of them.
Jeffrey P.
One of the
pain.
How do you know P is my middle initial?
Oh, we've talked, Jeffrey Paul.
Oh, how dare you? One of the only bands of that genre that I think transcends it and is bigger than the
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I know
yeah,
exactly.
like
yeah.
they're yeah.
Yeah, I like what I've heard.
That's it. No,
That's it.
No cock joke.
Why would I say that?
Yeah, why? I'm gonna say top 5 dead or alive.
Really?
Yeah, one of the
Holy,
greatest bands to ever exist.
holy moly!
Fuck yeah.
Better than Uriah Heep?
Oh, 1,000 times better.
Listen,
But it's
man.
like apples and oranges.
Listen, we're not gonna have any of this shooting on Uriah Heep.
Better than Yes?
Please. Vinny,
Dare you.
Steve Albini.
There's as much stuff he produced that I hate as there is that I like. So it's weird. He's not a dude that I could be like, anything he does, I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
Like there's some dudes that are.
Don't care, never cared, not interested on any fucking level.
Fair enough.
Jeez.
Talented jerk job.
Sicko?
About with you, the half of his stuff that he's produced I've liked. Half of it I could give a shit about. There's some Big Black that I like.
Oh, you like Big Black.
Hey, yo. Most of it I couldn't give a shit about. But I will say this. I know someone.
I just got that.
How do you just... It's so...
He's tired.
He is.
He's mad tired.
Poor fella.
He did Nirvana, you know.
Yeah, we know.
I know someone who, someone very close to me, interviewed him, and he's infamous for being a dick. And that person, when she interviewed him, said he could not have been nicer. So
that's good to hear.
yeah, so that always makes you feel better. Vinny, the Dwarves.
I'm not as hip to them as I don't want to say should be. But I kind of never cared. I'm not saying I shouldn't,
Meh.
but I just, no one ever put them. Basically, I was at the mercy of y'all and my brothers. So if someone wasn't a supermarket that said, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, that's how the early shit came. And sometimes it's weird to go back to shit and try to relearn.
Jeff?
They have three brilliant records. The stuff they've done for the past 15 years is, in my opinion, total dog shit. And I'm not interested at all.
I didn't know they made any
Some
records. in the
motherfuckers,
past
yeah,
15
they
years.
still make records. Some motherfuckers love this shit. I think it's fucking awful. But the 3 Sub Pop records are really fucking good.
What's the one with all the naked chicks with blood?
Blood, Guts, and Pussy.
That's it. That's the one I remember.
That's-
There's also an irony in what I said. I was the original Sub Pop Mark.
Yeah.
So it makes I was
Well, it's funny because I always forget they were even a sub.
I don't think of them as one even
Yeah.
though I was listening to Tad and Mudhoney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Vinny. No one ever put them on, so I never had any
Yeah.
interest.
I didn't really know anybody that was huge into them either.
The name is gross too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Vinny, Dave Dichter,
I don't know who that is.
MDC.
Oh. Well, they're one of those things you respect what they did more than I'm playing them in my car. If that makes any sense.
Totally. Jeff.
I went through a phase with them.
You have
cool.
phases, man.
Yeah, man. They're cool.
Life's all about phases.
It is. Seems to be.
They were before my time.
I'm a huge Dave Dichter fan. I was a huge MDC fan. I think Dave is great. I think
You're a Dick fan.
I am a fan of Dick.
He's trying to set me up for dick jokes, and I'm not having it tonight.
You're just.
All of a sudden, he's highbrow.
Yeah, well.
Jesus Christ.
Pablo, Jim Penis.
Pablo. Frank Cocksucker.
Yeah, not fall for it, dude.
All right, and last but not least, Vinny, the album, Nation of Millions. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back.
The best rap album ever made.
Jeffrey.
Punk rock. It's probably overall my favorite rap record. I can't think of anything that's
I think I
that
would
I
say
like
the same.
More than Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah.
100%. I think that
More than Easy Does It?
Yes, my limited rap knowledge. Chuck D is my favorite rapper of all time.
I'm with that.
No, I'm not
Vocally,
mad.
I
I'm
don't
not mad
think
at that at
anybody
all.
touches them.
I mean, it's already been said by Vinny and Jeff. There's really nothing
Yeah.
more to say.
Pretty much, yeah. Would you think it'd be fair to say, if not one of the most important records ever made
I think that, and that means any genre.
in any genre?
I think it's as important as Sgt. Pepper's. I think it's as important as the White Album, Revolver, Pet Sounds.
Do you think an argument could be made that it's the most important hip hop record ever made?
I don't think it's an argument to be made. I think it is. I mean, there's other ones that you could bring in, and I wouldn't say you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? But from first off, from what he was talking about, let's just get that out of the way. What they were tackling was unheard of, and then the production of the Bomb Squad. They were doing things. They were using machines to bend notes, to truncate. It was sheer insanity what they were doing.
It was punk rock.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. Our lovely
Yay.
favorite word association game.
Oh no.
Vinny, you know what that means, don't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite part of the show. I don't know what the opposite of favorite is.
Least favorite?
Yeah. Well, all right. This is called Dear Vin.
Here's some fucking thoughts from some maniac.
Dear Vin, can I be a friend?
Oh, boy.
I'm from Denmark. Love your song. Is happiness just a word? I'm a schizo, so I don't really have a lot of friends. Well, I had, but then they all faded. F-A-T-E-D. Away with drugs and stuff. You know you can't trust addicts. Sometimes I miss them, but I don't want to be a drug addict. Although I like smoking a little weed. Keep me calm and make me sleep and eat better. If you don't want to be friends, just make my day and send N hi or how you doing. I'm a fan, but not a stalking fan. But I understand if you don't have time to write me, I'll still be a fan. Have a nice day. Okay, thought you were freedom fighter and all that. Man, you had me fooled. I really hoped I found a fighter, but I guess I'm gonna look elsewhere. Thanks for shit, you dumb asshole fuck.
Wow.
You are just like the other rappers rapping for a little fame. You don't care about us, the people that are left chilling to real rap. Shame on you, in caps. No, really, fuck you. I thought you were all about the people. You're fucking not. I hope you die. End your lie. Bye. I'm going to expose fake rappers as yourself. You give me the power to push on fake idiots. Why rap so kooky, man? I think he's trying to say cocky, but there's like 9 O's. You don't care. I've seen your friends make signs and showing one eyeball. You think I'm sleeping? Fuck you, bitch. I'm more awake than you will ever be, you fake bitch.
Jesus Christ.
You're in the scope of my rifle next time you're in EU. Meaning Europe, for those who don't know. You rap shit, bitch. You're fucking with a no-good, low-life asshole, man. I don't give a shit for jail. Been there, done that. You're end damn bitch. You're not worth it. I'm like fucking over you and your retarded friends. Fuck you. Do not contact me. Thanks, retard.
Wow.
You have a fucking big mouth. Meet me one-on-one. I'll beat the shit out of you, you bitch. See, I'm not like... Wait. See, I'm not like you. I say what I want when I want. I don't need a gang of people. He. Face me or sent one to face me. I'll rip your asshole and rape you with a chili pepper.
Jeez. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, man. Haven't been myself. I'm mentally ill, but remember who your friends are, okay?
Holy fuck.
I see Illuminati symbolism in your videos you do with others. Sorry about your dad. My dad shot himself. Why the fuck can't I be a friend?
I like a few things in this.
Okay.
I like.
What about when he says he's gonna shoot me and he's from a country where you can't get guns?
I don't like that he said that Vinny was in the scope of his rifle. Don't sit well with me.
I like that he said faded as FATED.
Yes,
That's super fucking heavy.
it is.
And I think we're stealing that.
I do too. He's getting viced.
Yeah.
Crown
We're,
vict.
we're hacking him.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I kind of like the rape you in the asshole
With the chili pepper?
it's creative.
I mean,
it paints a mental picture.
it does. It does.
Paints with
I'm
words.
not going to lie to you and say I didn't visualize something horrible in my head while I read that.
As did I.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but
I
he
think we all went there.
the kid can weave a yarn, is what I'm trying to say. Dear Vin, hi, I love your songs. I just released a rhyme dictionary that show you the words to rhyme in the moment that you are writing your lines. Hope it's useful to you. Word up.
I like him too.
A rhyming dictionary.
Word up.
That's how he ended it, with an exclamation.
That's how we're ending every show from now on.
All right, including this one?
Indeed.
All right.
Word up.
I can't stress enough how poor the grammar and spelling is in all of these, which sometimes if you think, I've said this most Dear Vins, that I'm like, I sound like the slow kid reading in class. It's because I haven't read these yet. I'm trying to sort through them, and some are so bad, it's really hard to.
They're just like one long run.
Yeah, like I just looked at this one and they spelled maybe Mabey.
Yes.
So,
That's a good start.
Dear Vin, hey, what's up, Vinny? I'm going to get a portrait of you tatted on me, maybe, Mabey. I'm going to get a portrait of you tatted on me. Maybe if you have any good portraits of you, you can send to me so I can pick one I like most.
Send him your second grade class picture.
Send me your portfolio.
So this guy wants my portfolio, as if like it's real difficult to find a picture
Send
of me.
him.
Like my second grade
No.
gimmick.
Yeah, the glamour
No.
shots will go.
No. Send him Pablo's wedding picture of all of us.
I have a better
The one
idea, and
where-
it's only better because I'm brilliant.
God.
How about next week you draw me and we send it and say
All
that
right.
I'm going to say the OG just took a picture of me.
Done.
Here it is.
And that's what we're going to. So Sicko will find this person.
That is wonderful.
I'll scan it and Sicko will answer as me. And it'll be an OG drawing. Drawing.
That would be
If
wonderful.
he then gets that tattooed on him,
Then he's in the gang.
like
Then we will
He's the leader.
fly him
he will
over.
be the extra
He
guy.
is the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. He will. Wow.
This is the final one of the night, gentlemen. Pablo, I know you want to count sheep. Dear Vin, I'm a big fan, Paz, but I feel like you take different route lately and not stick to the roots. I still remember when I saw you live and you didn't even acknowledge me. Ego much.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a crowd of 3,000 people, Vinny.
Yeah,
you
this is
didn't-
the stuff that can kind of rev me up a little bit.
But he used root and root in the same sentence.
Different
is
spelling, too.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, okay. When are you gonna... Yo, man, it's so hard. When are you gonna out any new stuff out? I'm assuming he went to write put.
Yeah.
When are you gonna put any new stuff out? I haven't heard from you in so long. When was the Jedi record? 15 months ago?
If that, yeah.
Before that, an EP. Before that, 2 LPs, Jedi EPs, 2 Army of the Pharaohs records. And anyone out there that's thinking, don't be so egotistical to think that everyone knows your records. Well, you would think you would be if you're going as far as to write me.
Right, if he's writing you and knows who you are.
Right,
then
so
he
don't
would-
get it twisted that I think I'm famous. I realize I'm not. But if you're writing me, you should know the deal.
It's not like he knew you from second grade and
Correct.
was writing you.
I haven't heard from you in so long, and the last stuff wasn't how it was on the Violence album. We have, 6 albums with the word violence in it? Also, so he's shitting on me. I haven't heard from you in so long, and the last stuff wasn't how it was on the Violence album. Also, my cousin and my nephew are big fans too. If you could call me and say some rhymes to me or us, that would be so cool. They would love that. I introduced you to them. He introduced me to them. I didn't know that I knew them.
You're fucking down.
You need to make more music and do what the world wanted to. I was at the clinic once and they played your song on the speaker and had to look just to make sure. When you do it good. Don't glake out.
Wow.
Please, let me know when you make more music.
Because nowadays it's very difficult to get information.
Absolutely.
on your favorite artist.
Impossible.
You need a personal invitation.
There's no Facebook. There's no
Nothing.
Google. There's no
Nothing.
Facebook.
Don't glake out, man.
Don't glake out is what I'm trying
You're
to tell
known,
you.
you're known for glaking out.
I mean, you click out, you're whack.
Singer, write that down. I mean, you glake out, you're whack.
Fuck, man.
Here's the thing, man. One thing about the professor is he doesn't manufacture things. He lives the life. He doesn't live a lie.
He about that life.
So when we talked about a Pablo Cheapo tip, he said, look, man, I don't got nothing for the gimmick gang. You know what I mean? When something naturally comes up, I'll keep it in the mental Rolodex and I'll drop the gem on y'all. My guess is for next Tuesday's show, he will have, you know what I mean, a couple bullets in the chamber.
I got something.
So
Could have something.
with that said, without a, with no gimmick to put Pitt over, P, I'm gonna send you to
To the mailbag?
dig deep into the mailbag.
That's me in there. There you go. Yeah, got some Foley artists in the house. All right, this one is for the Vin and the OG from Johnny Landon. Guys, I'm wondering what each of you thinks about the Chris Benoit tragedy that happened back in 2007. Do you think he was truly guilty of the incidents that occurred that night? I have read a lot of interesting conspiracy theories which made me doubt his guilt, but after listening to Nancy Benoit's sister on Chris Jericho's podcast, I believe Benoit did it. If you guys haven't heard it, she basically said that Chris was paranoid and physically abusive to Nancy in the months leading up to the event.
I recently listened to the interview with Nancy's sister. Gavin put me up on it because neither of us listened to Jericho's podcast because he has a lot of D-bags on it. And Gavin hit me and was like, yo, whatever you have planned next to listen to, put this ahead of it. She was super candid, the sweetest person in the world. They're from an Italian family, sweetheart. There are lots of conspiracies. There are people very, very, very close to him that say he was incapable of doing that. I feel that Gavin believes he does it. I think he's definitely an advocate for women's rights. I don't know if that sways him at all. I think she probably was battered, which is fucked. It's cowardice. I don't know, man. I don't know how much you know about it, but it's creepy, man. He killed one, then killed his son, then killed himself.
I
He
remember the
put a
story.
Bible next to it. There's some people that are convinced it was a murder. It's horrible all the way around, particularly, I mean, he was definitely roided out of his skull and suffered from roid rage and suffered from headshots. Hey, yo, Nancy and the baby were completely innocent, and it's so fucked. And she isn't talked enough because she did a lot of cool shit in wrestling. She was with Kevin Sullivan. She did cool stuff in ECW. She did cool stuff everywhere and seemed like the biggest sweetheart in the world. So 2 people definitely died that were innocent, and I don't know what was up with Chris, but they erased him from the history books, bro.
Yeah.
OG?
I can't say 100%. If you're asking my opinion is he did it. if he did indeed do it, fuck him. I don't care that if he was somebody's favorite fucking growing up. I don't care how talented he was. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm pretty convinced that he did it. There is an argument that I do have a bit of sympathy because I think he was pretty sick from whatever. I don't know if it was from the steroids or from the headshots
or
from,
both.
Yeah. So you could kind of get me a little bit with that, and I might not be so harsh if you could convince me of that, but otherwise everything that I've heard, and again I'm not privy to all the proper information. I know as much as anybody does. If you're really asking me for my opinion's fuck him, and I don't think that he should be even in a conversation about the Hall of Fame, which so many motherfuckers think he should. I don't think that he should. I do think that they should have erased him from the history. I don't give a shit that he had some 5-star match with fucking whoever the fuck in Japan or with Vince. I don't care. Fuck him. He killed his fucking wife, who, by the way, was in the fucking business, and nobody fucking, like Vinny said, nobody fucking mentions her. She was an important part of the fucking business for a longer time than Benoit ever was. Nobody mentions her, and he fucking killed a kid. Fuck him. I don't understand why there's even any controversy about this on any level. Fuck him, and that's that.
Great, thank you.
I love his vocal inflection during the mailbag too.
Absolutely.
He changes into. We need
He's like a moderator.
If anyone wants to name this alter ego of Professor Pablo during mailbag, send us your suggestions.
Okay, this one is from Cronked. Hey guys, fucking great show. I know Sicko is a jerk off and hates everything pop culture and comic or sci-fi related. Philip K. Dick is my favorite author. It's my favorite author ever, although I love to read anything. Arthur C. Clarke and H.G. Wells probably would make top 5 for me, but you can't deny they are brilliant writers. I can see Sicko like an H.P. Lovecraft, though. What are Sicko's thoughts on these authors and thoughts on sci-fi writers in general?
Love them.
No, he's asking a real Sicko.
That is the real Sicko.
I hate science fiction a whole lot.
He's living up, Jeff.
He is.
Don't love them.
I have never. I think I've read one science fiction book in my life, and it was only because I was told that it had the answer to 138 to it, which it didn't. I can't say that they're good or they're bad. I just have no interest in science fiction. H.P. Lovecraft is just way over my head. It's nothing I am interested in whatsoever.
Not my thing.
It's not my thing.
Okay, this one's for Vin from Omni of Liquid. Vinny, can you tell us what the Jedi mind trick symbol means and what it means to you?
I've talked about this countless times over the past
That's a boo.
20 years. Yeah, agreed.
Boo.
No, I mean, no hate on the kid, but it's. I was reading the I Ching at the time that we were trying to. That everything was coming together, kismet, whatever. When we were running the label out of Pablo's basement, and what are you laughing at?
I'll look at
Pablo?
the next one. Yeah.
That's all right.
I thought he was thinking about the big black cock.
Yeah.
Remember the big black cock in his basement?
Yes.
That fucking rooster statue?
Yeah. It's something from the I Ching. I've explained
It's
it
going to be one of
before.
your basements pretty soon, buddy.
So yeah, that's it.
And it means abundance.
It's a spiritual abundance. Yeah.
This last one is for the crew from Boof Radley, the fucking
bull.
the poster boy for New Jersey. If you could go back in time and see any one show, what show would you pick? I would love to see one of those wild Stooges shows when they would play high school gyms back in the 60s, or maybe an early Bruce Springsteen show in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I can't choose.
Any show that was not in the state of New Jersey. Christ, I don't know.
I mean, I would like to see the Pistols in
I was
Texas.
gonna say I'd go see the Pistols in England.
I would like to see Op Ivy live.
I would like to see Negative Approach in like
The heyday.
81, 82.
I like Pablo's answer. The Pistols in Texas. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'd like to see the earlier Pistols, but yeah, that's a good one.
Thin Lizzy for me, no question.
Nice,
Thin Lizzy, late 70s.
nice.
And a very anticlimactic ending to the mailbag.
And Jersey still sucks. Sorry, Booth.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to wrap up. But before we do that, recommendations. The Sicko. Do you have a recommendation?
I do. Mine's actually, I had to go back into the vault because I'm running out.
You don't have a vault.
Anything, anything new. Mine is documentary. I think it's from 2005. It's in my top 5 greatest documentaries ever made because it's a documentary about one joke. It's called The Aristocrats.
Oh, what a horror
Yeah.
scene. What a horror
I'm
scene.
not even going to go into what the joke
It's
is.
brilliant.
If you're a fan of the art of stand-up comedy, it's an almost perfect documentary just about the craft itself. The legend of the joke, The Aristocrats.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Wonderful. And the whole movie builds towards 2 things. One, Bob Saget, who is one of my favorite comedians, one of the funniest human beings on the planet. But the big deal is Gilbert Gottfried on the whatever roast it was right after 9/11.
What a fucking horror scene, man.
Where he just kept killing them. And when
Yeah.
they finally was they're not having the New York jokes anymore, he does the Aristocrats joke, and it's one of the funniest things you've ever seen. So I own the DVD. I actually looked for it on Netflix, and I didn't see it, so I don't know where you'd go to find it other than buying the DVD, but it should be pretty easy to find.
Yeah, it's probably like $7, man. on
Yeah,
Amazon.
it's got literally 100 comedians are in it, and it was done at a time where some of the George Carlin was still alive. He was in it. Robin Williams was actually very funny in his brief cameo.
David Brenner's in it.
David Brenner,
The Jokeman.
Jackie Jokeman, Emo Phillips.
Everyone's in it.
It just fucking everyone's in it, and it's great. It's called The Aristocrats, not The Aristocats. The Aristocrats. Thank you.
The Professor.
This one is a place I was at earlier today. This is the awesome place to eat in Philadelphia. It's the Urban Outfitters Cafeteria.
Fuck, man.
The United States headquarters for Urban Outfitters is in Philadelphia.
I love this.
You take this motherfucker. You take Broad Street all the way till you can't go anymore. You're in the Philadelphia Navy Yard, which ain't really a Navy Yard anymore.
Why is it so great?
Because it's fucking pussy heaven. Is what's so good about it. The food's good, but it's like a mini Manhattan where there's 10 million good-looking girls there.
Mini Manhattan.
Mini.
The eye candy's just out of fucking control. Food's good too, but best in the summertime.
What did you buy there?
I
What did
got
you eat?
shrimp lo mein.
Strip lo mein that made him fucking sick.
Shrimp lo mein was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
parking sucks, but the eye candy is the fucking best.
The parking
Dummy,
sucks.
yeah.
Open to the public.
But it's great. I recommend it highly.
Chef recommends.
Dummy. Yeah.
Clams Casino.
Yeah.
OG.
I'm gonna recommend a song. It's by a band called Hard, Fast, and Loud. They kind of came from Suicidal Tendencies kind of thing.
Yeah.
The song is called Resident Threat. It's like 2 minutes, and for some reason I've been obsessed with it for like a week.
Excellent. All right. Mine is a documentary. It's called Catching Salinger.
Oh.
The search for the reclusive writer J.D. Salinger.
I get very excited about these things. Jesus.
I'm obsessed with Salinger.
If you can get excited about wrestling, I can get excited
He
about
popped
James
he popped the
Salinger.
boner, Jeff.
I'm not saying anything.
I've been obsessed with Salinger since I was a kid. He wrote 2 of my top 5 favorite books. And this is kind of about his strange disappearance in '65 and him becoming a recluse and the strange behavior that took place, his relationship with his kids, relationship with a girl who came to interview him who ended up not leaving. He ended up fucking pissing in bottles around his house. It's batshit, as Salinger was, but probably one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century.
Yeah.
So that's my
I
recommendation.
look forward to borrowing that from you.
Sicko, listen.
I like literary things.
I have 2 words for that, Sicko.
Dummy, yeah.
I like meaningful things. I get excited. Yay.
That's what's our new ending?
Word up.
Yeah. This has been episode number 30 of the Broad Street Breakdown. For Sicko, Professor Pablo, and the OG, my name is Vinnie Paz. We will see y'all next Tuesday. Thank you.
Base.
Word up.
Right.